ask you, could you convince me you live in a ball?
I mean, I kind of doubt it, but what would it take to convince you? There's the interesting question.
Anything applicable to the scientific method without using the thing in question as reference to prove your point?
Okay, we've gone to space and taken pictures of the Earth from space, and it's a ball.
Yeah, one more time. You don't use the thing in question with the same word like space. You don't prove space with the word space. It's a contradiction.
I wasn't proving anything to you about space. Your question was about the shape of the Earth, and I said, here's a picture of the Earth, and you can see what its shape is.
So you don't use this. That's another thing. That's what I'm saying. If I show you a picture of Earth, you're not going to agree with it. So pictures, I don't think are opposed to reality.
Well, pictures definitely are consistent with reality, but your pictures are going to be some pictures of some buildings across the water or something like that, whereas my picture is a picture of the entire planet. Well, half of
That's
it.
incorrect. You can't get an entire picture of the entire planet.
Yeah, half of it. You can get enough of it to know that it's not flat. Because we know what a flat Earth would look like from space, and it doesn't look like the pictures of the Earth that we have from space.
So that's what I'm using. You're using the thing in question to use to reference to prove your point. Like
So
using
you want
NASA,
me to prove the shape of the
NASA.
Earth, but I'm not allowed to use the Earth?
NASA. Yeah, you're not allowed to use the.
I'm not allowed to use the Earth. Wait a minute. I thought you guys said you can't use the sky to prove the shape of the ground. So I can't use not Earth and I can't use Earth? What am I allowed to do?
You can use the demonic fucks as evidence to prove your point. NASA, government.
Okay, well then I wouldn't use NASA. I would use there's a Japanese satellite that takes a picture of Earth like every 30 minutes.
That's a government association.
Great. So what is a test that we could conduct that would prove the Earth is not flat to you?
I could have presumed that you have more money than me, Peter. So I would recommend you buying a bottle rocket or making some form of rocket to do low orbit shot to see if you can get a high altitude picture yourself. Or you can order a weather balloon from Amazon from Germany for like $100 or $200.
Why is it that if Planet Peterson did this, that would prove it, but if somebody else does it, that doesn't prove it?
Well,
why am I the arbiter of truth?
Well,
I'm honored, but why am I the arbiter of truth?
You're arbiter of truth for yourself. You shouldn't appeal to anyone else's evidence, is what my point was.
Okay, so that directly contradicts what I asked you, which is, what could we do? And you said, well, Peterson, here's what you could do. I'm not you, so that wouldn't prove it either. So
well, I want you to
what is it? Is free allowed to accept evidence from other people, but Planet Peterson isn't? How does this specifically work?
I'm saying all the evidence you showed me so far for the shape of Earth is under the presumption that you're using either governmental assistance or the ISS or NASA, which is what specific I'm saying not to use. Nothing governmentally aid or funded.
It's a lovely thing to do, actually.
It is.
Now, on last night's programme...
Or if you want, I can just kick your ass in simple math, which you're not going to be able to refute. It's up to you.
Okay, well, here are some college students that sent up a weather balloon into space. And there you go. Curvature of the Earth.
What camera were they using?
I don't know, but you can. There was a moment there where I've never seen this video before, so let's go back to the beginning. There is a moment there where clearly the Earth is lined up in the middle of the camera shot, and it's still, there you go. It still maintains the curvature there. So you can't Herder fisheye lens this one, bro.
Yeah, so 1 second. Two things. One,
okay,
camera
that was,
the lens.
I gave you the amount of time you asked for, which was 1 second.
You didn't tell me the camera lens at all. I'm still waiting for your answer.
There are no camera lenses that create a curvature across the middle of the frame. They don't exist.
Are you shitting me? Wait a minute. Come on, Peter. Don't be like that, man. It's too early.
Okay, what are they called?
It's called fisheye lenses. They converge parallel lines.
Not across the middle of the frame, they don't.
Tell me the middle frame again. One more time. My bad. Maybe I wasn't paying attention.
I literally closed out of it. So I'm just going to let the record exists. It will speak for itself for generations to come. So.
All right. Can I get a turn, or are we not? Are you gonna? Are we gonna take turns here, or what are we doing?
I don't care. Go ahead.
Cool. Can I get the big box real quick then? So you don't care. Hundred and 150,000 feet, Peter.
Oh shit, that is the
Who's right?
wrong. Hold on a second.
Who's right and who's wrong?
I don't know. Tell me about this picture.
Two things. One, you can put in a pixelgraph and measure the shadows. They're converging into a point, which means that your corpuscular rays are convergent. Two, the horizon showing zero convexity at an altitude of 150,000 feet, which debunks what you just showed us with your fisheye lens, which is extremely focal point, by the way.
Oh no, where'd you get this picture from?
It's actually weather balloon NCGS, I think 2014, I think, or 15. Or if you want, I can show you.
NCGS?
Yep, and also I got another one from them too, which shows a galaxy, which is also flat.
A flat
Which is
galaxy?
Yep. Sounds pretty bizarre, doesn't it?
I don't know what a flat galaxy even means.
It's okay. You don't gotta know. I'm gonna show you. Flat galaxy means
what can I
flat.
Google to find this actual picture? Because I Googled what you told me, and that just took me to a video where they send a weather balloon up into space, and you can just so incredibly clearly see the curvature of the Earth.
Okay, 1 second. Hold on. I'm trying to get it for you. Boom. Here's another one that you released, 2024. M1.
Yeah, that's not.
O2.
I don't know what you think flat means. I mean, wider than it is thick. If that's what flat is, then okay.
Is this not flat?
We've
Wait, is
known
this not
that about
fuzzy?
galaxies like forever. Here, let me since we're taking turns.
So you know the galaxies are flat, but you don't believe the Earth could be flat. That doesn't make sense.
So there we see the Grand Canyon. So that's definitely a fisheye lens because it turned it's going convex to concave. So I don't know. I mean,
It's
there's
not
pretty
convex at all, dude.
oh shit, I'm not showing it on camera here. Sorry. So there's a frame that's pretty close to in the center, and it maintains that curvature. I don't know how high up this is. So because everything's
why is
black,
it-
I can't tell when it's in the
why
actual
is it-
middle.
Why is it going from flat to curved? It shouldn't be able to be flat at all.
I
if it's a
literally just explained that. So there we go. There we can see the frame is in the middle, and there's definitely curvature apparent
Yeah,
there.
hey, play it some more, and then pause it.
Free. I literally explained.
Dude, don't
Already.
get my MacBook and do the exact same thing you're doing. You're cherry picking. I'm not gonna get my.
I'm not
computer
cherry
just to
picking.
say that now.
I found a video where it's in the middle.
Yes,
I'm
and I bet you
acknowledging
can
it's a
say that.
fisheye lens, but in the middle of the frame, it still maintains the curvature.
So if
So
it's a
anyways,
fisheye lens, then you're already manipulating the picture, so therefore you can use the reference.
yeah.
for your
Except if the
just
line goes
omitted
across
it.
the middle of the frame, it won't. If it's actually a straight line, then it would appear as a straight line. So what do I specifically Google to get that fake picture that you showed?
Oh, you can do a couple of things, man. You can look Google airplane pictures, weather balloon, weather satellite imaging.
No, I
can
want
show
the
you-
exact picture that you're using.
I told you that website, NCGS satellite pictures.
Buddy, that website, I'm sure, has like a million pictures. So you got to do better than that.
It came out in 2014, so you got to find it. I don't know what to tell you.
Well, I Googled NCGS 2014 weather balloon photo, and it only came up with like 20 pictures. This is all of them, and none of them are the picture you showed.
Well, it's NCGS. I don't know what to tell you about that specific
Okay,
whereabouts.
so
if you want, I can show you an airplane one. Does this come for you? 40,000 feet out.
Airplanes absolutely do not fly high enough to see the curvature of the Earth, at least not left to right. But the front and back curvature is super obvious.
Is this fake too, though? So wouldn't you think?
No, it's
you'd just
probably
be a
not
little
fake, but you wouldn't expect to see left to right curvature
So let me
at
ask this, Peter,
at
can
that
you-
altitude. But the fact that there's a
both-
horizon proves that the Earth isn't flat. So thank you.
No, the fact that there's a horizon, and you just said that tells me you're geometrically literate, Peter. Peter, let me ask you this: when you're in a hallway in school and the hallway is long enough, does the hallway seem to be touching the top? Excuse me, the top seem to be touching the bottom of the hallway?
No.
Do I gotta get a picture of a hallway for you too, Peter? Do I want me to get a picture of a hallway for you?
Did you know that Adam Savage actually went in an experimental aircraft and saw the curvature of the Earth?
Who's that? I'm not sure who that is.
From Mythbusters, bro?
Oh yeah, sure. I'm sure he did.
Yeah,
He's
he
also
did.
funded by the government.
No, Mythbusters is not funded by the government.
They're not.
No.
I don't believe that. I would have to look that up. I'm assuming they would be.
Mythbusters is not PBS, it's Discovery Channel.
Discovery Channel is also funded by the government. My friend Nathan was on Discovery Channel, and he admitted
You
that they
do
lied
not
to the
have
people.
friends. Do not. If you're going to lie, I'm going to kick you off.
Here comes incredulity.
It's not incredulity.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. So Peter, how are you gonna refute this picture?
I told you that I wouldn't expect to see left to right curvature in that picture, but the fact that there's a
Okay.
horizon on it, I guess maybe at that altitude. So the only way you can get away with claiming that here, let me make you big. The only way you can get away with claiming that this picture somehow is evidence of the flat earth is you'd have to claim and then substantiate that the edge where the earth meets the sky in that picture is the edge of the earth, like the ice wall. And I know that
That's
you
a
can't do that.
no. Well, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Can we real quick? Can we go over the definition of horizon? What do you think the definition is?
Uh, that time you had a really bad sleepover at your uncle's house. That's the definition of the horizon.
So you know when you start making like these weird claims, dude, and it just makes you look really bad.
Like asking somebody what the definition of a horizon is. Yeah.
Well, you just said that this would have to mean that that's where the edge of the ice wall would be, which is totally like
Yes.
tells me you're geometrically
No,
literate.
because that is clearly where the boundary of where the earth ends. So that would be the edge of the earth.
No, the
So like when
horizon's
you're on
not
the
where the
ground, it's much more damning for when you're on the ground. The fact that a horizon exists at all completely proves that the earth cannot possibly be flat. But if you went sufficiently high up in the air, then if the earth is flat, there could be an apparent horizon or whatever, but that would be where the edge of the earth is. So until you can substantiate that claim, Pumpkin, you're going to have to just
Real quick, can we please go over
take
the
the L.
definition of horizon? Let's go over the definition
That
of.
time you had that really unfortunate sleepover. Yeah.
Okay, so the horizon is where the ground appears to meet the sky. Appears, word for word, appears. You can look at it. I think most dictionaries have the same definition, and they also claim it's due to the beginning of obstruction of Earth's curvature. So now that we know where the horizon is, where it appears to meet the ground. Okay, let me show you one more picture. Okay, Planet Peterson. Hopefully this helps you out. I have Legos if this doesn't make sense to you. Let's use this picture as reference, okay? Do you see this? These are spotlights, yeah? I want to ask
They're
you,
street lights, but yeah.
do you think that the bottom of the streetlight's actually touching the ground, or do you think it's due to perspective?
No, and if you zoomed in, you'd be able to tell that they don't. Unlike the sun, no matter how much you zoom in, you can never get a gap between the sun and the surface of the water when it starts to set.
Okay.
So these are
one more time.
completely. These are
Wait a minute.
the
Wait a
explanation.
minute, wait a minute.
The observation in the top picture debunks your proposed explanation in the bottom picture.
So can we agree that the bottom's not actually getting touched?
Yes, and you can demonstrate that by zooming in. Whereas
Awesome.
if you
I
bring in
believe
the
you.
sunset under high power, you can never get the gap between the sun and the water to
I believe you.
reappear.
I'm
So
not-
that proves that it is an actual physical obstruction, not an
now watch
optical
this.
illusion.
Now watch
The
this.
sun goes below the horizon because of a real physical obstruction, not because of an optical illusion. So what do you want to talk about next?
Wait a minute. Let me get a bit. Hold on. Don't take me down. I need you to understand this, Peter. Okay. It's okay.
No, I
to
do
be-
understand it, which is why I was able to explain it to you just now. The street lights, if you zoomed in on them, you would be able to see the gap between the street lights and the ground.
agree.
Whereas
I'm not
with the
discarding
sun,
that.
when the sun begins to set, you cannot zoom back in a gap between the sun and the water. Acknowledge that fact, and then we will move on.
You can zoom in depending on what
You
what rate of
absolutely
it is.
cannot zoom back in a gap between the sun and the water when the sun has begun to set. You cannot do that.
So, well, actually, if you raise elevation, you can change the gap between the sun and the water.
Which is exactly what you would expect if the earth is
Also-
curved. A
also, if
physical
you zoom it
obstruction, if you raise yourself up, then what you are doing is you're not
wanna talk to
exactly,
yourself?
yeah, you're going to have to stop talking, Pumpkin. if you raise yourself up, you're not exactly getting rid of the physical obstruction, but it's the same thing as I can't see my neighbor's yard. But if I get on because there's a fence, if I get on a ladder, then I can. So the real physical obstruction, you are circumventing it, or some other fancy word we could use, by going up in elevation. This is 100% consistent with the earth being curved. It cannot possibly be an explanation if the earth is flat. Elevation giving you, being able to take away the gap between the sun and the horizon is not explainable with a flat earth at all.
May I say something now?
Go ahead.
Right on. So two things.
Okay, so anyways, so we both agree that it is the flat earth model absolutely cannot account for why elevation would remove the obstruction between the sun and the water. So I let you say what you wanted to say there real quick. So what do you want to talk about next? I'm happy to announce that I can now offer signed copies of both of my books. This is because I've reopened my merch store where you can get your very own Spanky, t-shirt, and more. If you don't know, Rational Answers to Stupid Questions is a collection of responses to about 100 of the most common anti-scientific tropes. The book is meticulously detailed, it's been fact-checked by real scientists, and it's written in a clear and easy to understand way. Evolution, the Big Bang, creationism, flat Earth, all of that plus more is in there. Facts That Aren't True is a collection of over 150 commonly held beliefs that are not true. Each claim has a story behind it. You'll learn the history behind the claim, the science that disproves it, or partially supports it in some cases, and lots of side stories and tangents. Categories include the human body, history, religion, animals, nature, language, and a hodgepodge of miscellaneous facts that aren't true. So if you want to be equipped to handle the misinformation that you see me tackling here every day, get a copy of one or both of those books for yourself. Thank you.
I haven't said anything at all, Peter. All right.
That's not true. You said some words. So what do you want to talk about next? Because we can't talk about the sun setting because that completely contradicts your view of the shape of the earth. So what do you want to talk about next?
Bro. Dude, the fact you said there's no other way tells me that you're cognitively, like, I would say disabled, because that's a fallacy. The fact you said there's no other way this can be possible tells me that you don't know logic.
No, I literally didn't say that. I said it's contradicted by your model. There is a way it's possible. The earth being curved, the horizon being a physical obstruction, perfectly accounts for why the sun does what it does.
So, Peter, can we both agree that it's perspective? Before we start zooming in, I agree. You can change the distance from the light post to the ground.
Do you have a cope? Do you have a cope cup like I do? You should get your cope cup. I keep my cope cup next to my cum jug.
I usually smoke to deal with you guys. So back to my main point. Before we zoom in, is this perspective causing the convergence?
Which picture are you talking about?
The one on top of my hair. Before we zoom in, can we both agree that it's perspective?
The picture on top of your... Damn, dude, you're growing out that Dollar Tree perm.
Yeah, whatever. So before we zoom in, can you agree that the convergence is perspective?
I don't know what convergence is perspective mean. Like literally everything is perspective because we use our eyes to look at things. So this whole it's perspective thing is kind of like saying the floor is made of floor.
Oh my God.
So I will go ahead and agree that when we see things with our eyeballs, perspective is what explains the way we see the images. Yes, which is to explain literally nothing at all. So yes.
So that's perspective. Then when the sun touches the horizon, before we zoom in, is that also perspective?
In the respect that when you look at things with your eyes, it is perspective because that's just literally a description of things are where they are, we are where we are, and we see things, then yes. You have explained absolutely nothing at all with that statement.
Thank you. So now that we both agree that this is analogous to this due to perspective and being converged at the end, yeah, then I'm going to ask you one simple word, Planet Peterson.
You're going to ask me one word. Okay. So just so you are aware, hold on, free, hold on. Just so you are aware, you only get one word in.
Yeah, so.
Okay, so your word was yeah. Now I'm trying to think of how I'm going to respond to your one word question that you said you were going to ask, which was yeah. Let's see. No. That's my response to your one-word question.
Okay, so are you done, Peter?
No, but
we
you
get back
are.
on topic?
Better get your
Why do you
Coke
keep
cup.
running from me? Every time I join your panel, you run from me because you know I'm gonna shit on you, Peter. It's so
I
embarrassing.
don't want you to shit on me.
Well, then shut up, Peter. Maybe actually learn something for once in your life. All right, you write books about. I read
How
your book
stupid
actually.
people like you are. That is what I write books about. Hey, Free, how come when I zoom in on the sun, I cannot see the gap between the sun and the water? Why is that?
Great question. Great question. I'm gonna get you your answer in 5 seconds. Because unlike you, I actually have things prepared, and I'm not.
Okay, it's been 5 seconds. Go ahead. Go ahead.
On our paradigm, we agree the sun's moving away from the observer. Once the distance from the sun it gets farther from the observer, the resolving from the human eye or the camera is in the same speed of of the pixel of the. Excuse me. The resolve rate is in the same speed as the
The
as a
speed
compression.
of the pixel is your argument?
Can you listen? When the
Not very
distance of the
well.
sun from
The
observer,
speed of the pixel. That's your
Listen.
account for why we can't see the gap between the sun and the water.
It's complex. The horizon is
The
a space
speed
called
of the
vanishing
pixel.
point. Dude, can you
That's
shut the fuck
that's
up?
actually what you're telling us. The
you respect me?
speed of the pixel.
Listen, Peter. I
Chat,
know you
its
have Tourette's.
argument is the speed of the pixel is why we can't see it.
I know you have Tourette's, Peter, but I need you to calm down, Peter. All right.
I have asymptomatic Tourette's.
The distance from the sun to the observer increases faster than the resolving rate, which means that it gets compressed at the horizon, which is a vanishing point, which
Oh, no.
causes things to disappear bottom up.
Yeah,
All right,
you want
now,
me
if
to
you wanna get
prove to
more
you
technical-
in like less than 20 words how that can't possibly be true according to your paradigm?
I can demonstrate this with a quarter. If you weren't such
I
an
can
English muffin,
demonstrate
you would
that you
understand
believe. I can demonstrate that this can't be possibly the
All right, you wanna
explanation
go do it?
according to your paradigm in
I
like
can
less
cook
than
you with a
20 words.
quarter.
Are you ready?
You want me to use a quarter?
Let me
to
know when
to
you're
debunk
ready.
anything you said? First of all, how
Let
about
me
you
know when
read
you're
what I'm
ready.
showing you? Read.
Stay on mute until you're ready for me to explain it to you.
You're a trigger. You're a triggered American, bro.
Aren't you American?
Nope, I'm not American. You're very triggered, Peter.
Where do you live?
Don't worry about it. You're very triggered, Peter.
Okay. So, anyways, when you're ready for me to explain how, even according to your paradigm, what you just said isn't true, let me know when you're ready, and then I will tell you.
I need you to actually read what I'm. Read my evidence.
I heard everything you said, which is how I know that I can prove that it's a contradiction according to your paradigm. When you are ready, I will explain it to you.
Enlighten me.
Remind you? You want me to
Enlighten
remind
me.
you when you're ready?
Oh my
Okay,
God. This
you're
guy,
ready
dude,
then.
You're an embarrassment. You're the
You
worst
just
Glober
said
on TikTok,
remind
dude.
me. So
I
you
hope
want
you know
me
you're
to
the worst
remind
Glober on
you
TikTok.
when you are ready. Well, I'm reminding you right now,
Said
okay?
Enlighten.
Free. What's farther away, the stars or the sun?
That's a vertical gradient, not horizontal.
What's farther away, the stars or the sun?
On your paradigm, but they're relatively consistent
No, this is according to you. What's farther away, the stars or the sun?
I think the stars are,
Then how come we can see them?
because you're looking in two things. One, your angle that you're looking at it is vertical.
There are
not
stars
horizontal.
literally just above the horizon.
Yes, but they
Yep.
also disappear
Why
at the
can we
horizon.
see stars just above the horizon that are farther away than the sun?
Because it's angle. I would have to say this luminescence is bright enough to be seen from an observer.
Great. So the stars are brighter than the sun. Why can we not see stars during the day?
Because the sun's out during the day.
Great. So literally two contradictions. The sun gets farther away, so it just simply disappears from our view for all the completely idiotic reasons you gave.
Dude,
Yet the
you
stars
have
are
no
farther
brain.
away and we can see them. Why is that? Because they're brighter. Brighter than the sun? No. So just absolutely, completely dog walked.
Wait a minute. I didn't say. I did say they're brighter than the. What are you talking? Dude, that's all you do. You. Dude, you're embarrassing.
I need a sip from my Coke cup real quick.
Can you debate without that mute button?
You? No, you're too dishonest.
That's coming from you. All right, Peter, one more time, Peter. All right, can I get the big box so you can use your big boy eyeballs and read words?
Nope. I understood
No?
everything you said. The sun gets so far that it just disappears from our line of sight, but the stars are farther away, but they don't disappear. Your explanation is that because the stars are bright, or that the stars are brighter, but then we'd be able to see them during the day. So every explanation you've given contradicts the previous one. So what do you want to talk about next? Because we're not going to talk about the contradiction you believe in. That's too stupid to give any attention to. What do you want to talk about next?
Stop running, dude. All right, you muting people.
What do you want to talk about next?
All right, you muting people doesn't make you
free. I don't consent to a conversation about the current topic. So what do you want to talk about next?
Okay, so you're gonna appeal to intellectual aptitude.
Bro literally doesn't understand consent. Okay.
Okay, without appeal, we'll move on. Let's talk about the ground.
What about it?
Cool. If you live on a ball or donut, don't you agree that you should be having a ground that's showing convexity?
Isn't this or no, that's concave because it caves in. Would the ground do that? Yeah, which is why we see a horizon. It's the curvature of the earth. We already went over that, and I said I don't consent to a conversation about that. So what do you want to talk about next?
You didn't know the definition of horizon, remember?
Yeah, I did. It was that time you had that unfortunate sleepover at your uncle's house.
Dude, why can't you ever be serious, dude? It's actually like concerning.
With a flat earther?
Dude, my left nut thinks harder than you. I hope you know that, Peter.
Okay.
So for you to try to say with a flat earther condescending as if our intellectual ability is less than yours, it's very concerning. Okay, how many time lapses have you done, Peter, of the sun?
Couldn't count it.
Cool. How many P1000s have you used?
At least 0, maybe more.
Which means you haven't done your own observation. So can you stop being?
Yeah, I have. I've looked at the horizon, which is impossible if the Earth is flat.
Get the government out your ass for 5 seconds. Okay.
I don't have any governmental horizons in my ass. No, I do not have that.
You have NASA far up your ass. So I need you to pay attention for 5 seconds, Peter. Okay. There's this thing called
I literally did an anal douche this morning before I started this live stream, so there is nothing in my ass. So
I can't believe people support this incredulity, bro. It's embarrassing. It just tells you about our world. But so let's talk about the horizon since you don't know how it works.
Well, before we do that, I need you to acknowledge that like I took a hot water enema douche before this live stream. So there's nothing up my ass. So your argument that the reason I'm failing to be able to carry on a good faith conversation is because I have NASA in my ass is not true. I need you to acknowledge that.
Peter, you pee sitting down.
No, yes, I do, because then you don't get any spray and it's more convenient and I can doom scroll on my phone. So peeing while sitting down is absolutely goated. You should give it a try.
Hey, Peter,
if you like wiping down the pee all over your toilet seat, then go ahead. But I am absolutely team sit down when I pee. But the point is I did a hot water enema douche before this live stream, so there is no NASA up my ass.
Okay, so I guess now that we're clearly don't have NASA up your ass.
Okay. I'm just glad we agree.
Sure. Let me ask you this. When you have a railroad track, do those lines appear to converge due to perspective?
Yeah, they appear to, yeah.
Yeah, what's that convergence line called?
George Harrison.
Called a vanishing point.
Oh.
So are railroad tracks, are those not possible on a flat earth either? Because according to your
existence of railroad tracks is possible on a flat earth. Yeah, I agree.
Okay. What about the existence of its perspective of convergence? Is that possible on a flat earth?
Yeah, again, this whole thing about perspective. Things exist where they do, and then we exist in different places, and we see things. Perspective. It literally explains nothing at all. So yes,
so one more
apparent conversion happens. Oh, well, there goes your corpuscular ray argument.
Okay, well, you just agreed that it happens, which means we do have a horizon on a flat Earth. Thank you, Mr. Peter. So now,
No.
yes, you just agreed that the convergence of train tracks happens even on a flat Earth, which is due to the vanishing point, which is called a horizon, Potato Head.
No, if there was if the Earth were actually flat, you wouldn't see a sharp horizon. The ground would obscure
Yo,
due to
dude,
atmospheric
honestly,
scattering. It would blur, just like when it's foggy outside.
guys, please do your own research. Don't listen to this guy. He's gonna send you guys.
Does atmospheric scattering happen?
Sure.
Okay. If the Earth were flat, I don't know why I started it off that way. So if the Earth is flat, then the ground just stays level and extends away from you forever, right? Well, not forever, but
I don't know how far.
It doesn't really matter how far it does. So you acknowledge that if the Earth were flat, you'd be able to see the Eiffel Tower from the Empire State Building is a stupid argument because of atmospheric scattering, right? You're not muted.
I don't know what the hell your question is, dude.
The atmosphere. So why can you not see the bottom of the ocean when you go to the ocean and look down? Because the light gets spread out and blocked
What
eventually
the
by the
fuck?
water.
Why
Air.
can't you see the bottom of the ocean? That's
Yeah.
the best you got, Peter?
It's actually really good, and it's consistent with your guys' rebuttals to some of the weaker arguments against the Earth being flat. So yeah, this is actually the perfect argument. How come you can't see the bottom of the ocean?
Because there's no light down there.
There's light coming from the top, but it can't get to the bottom because it gets absorbed, scattered, all kinds of things, right? The
Sure.
atmosphere does the same thing.
Congratulations.
Mountains that are extremely far away look hazy. Their color gets they get lighter the farther away they are. Why
There's
is
a word
that?
for that.
Because
There's
the
a word
air
for
is
that.
doing what the water does. Okay?
Yeah.
So if the Earth were flat, then the ground just extends away from you, not forever, but far enough that when you try to look at the boundary between the air and the ground, they would just blur into each other. But that doesn't happen. Therefore, I'll let you finish the sentence. Therefore,
Therefore, you are showing how fucking uneducated you are. I don't.
close to what we were looking for is therefore the Earth cannot possibly be flat.